Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Adrienne. For those of you guys that are new here, welcome. And for those of you that are returning, gang, nice to see you. As always, I just want to take a few moments to just appreciate you and let you know that I appreciate you spending your time with me, because I realize you could be literally doing anything else. So thank you for being here. Let's get into it. 5 reasons why your hair isn't growing. So first, I want to get into a couple misbeliefs or a couple myths as to hair growth. And first one is your hair isn't growing, and it is. Your hair is growing every day. You just can't control the rate in which it grows, or you might be experiencing what we call breakage. So it's not the fact that your hair isn't growing, but it's the fact that you're not retaining the length that you are producing, if that makes sense. So if you think that you start off with like 2 inches and you grow an inch, but you lost 3, you know what I'm saying? So it's a common miscommunication that your hair isn't growing, when in actuality, you're not keeping the hair that you do have already. So I want to get into 5 main reasons why you aren't retaining your length and you're not reaching your hair length goals, because everybody wants to get to, the length that they want to have. So first, overmanipulation. So when it comes to styling your hair, a lot of people like to switch up their hair. I am sometimes one of those people, but sometimes you can do it a little too much. So when it comes to manipulating your hair, you don't have to pull out every tool in your toolkit. Like you ain't gotta use this comb, use that comb, use this brush, use that brush, straighten it this day, flat iron it this, that's the same thing, blow dry it this day, curl it, crimp, all that stuff. Sometimes less is more. And we have to realize that our hair needs a break. So if you're one of those people that, Monday, you're wearing a fro, Tuesday, you got a puff, Wednesday, you got like some flat twists or something like that, you might be putting a little bit too much stress on your hair. You're moving it too much. You're doing too much with it. It's getting tired, essentially. And that can lead to breakage, because you're constantly changing the state that it's in. You're constantly messing with it. You're constantly stretching it out or squishing it back up. But overall, you're touching it way too much, and your hair is not happy. So for my beautiful babies that you gotta have some sort of variance, you have to learn how to do that safely, and learn how to do it in a more effective manner for your hair. So if you want to, wear flat twists day 1 through 2 or day 1 through 3, and then day 4 or 5, whatever, you want to take them out and then wear a flat twist out, that's cool. Or you want to do a braid out, look like Felicia for a couple days and then stun on them, you can do that too. But consistently going into your hair and parting it here and parting it there and twisting it here and braiding here, it might be putting too much stress on your hair. 2, your moisture and protein balance is out of whack. So for my beautiful women that, you got, different curl patterns, everybody's hair is different. That's what I'm trying to say. Everybody's hair is different, and somebody's moisture protein balance might be different than yours, or it's not the same as yours. And so you have to learn how to listen to your hair and give it what it needs at that time. So for me, I realized my hair does not like too much protein at all, like if any. I barely do protein treatments. I rarely do protein treatments, and if I do, it's something really subtle. Like for those of you that are familiar, there's a Jamaican black castor oil line by Shea Moisture, and for a long time I was using that every week to wash my hair, and then my hair was like super dry, super brittle. It was breaking off all the time, and I'm like, yo, what is going on? And then I look at the ingredient list and I realized that there's keratin in their conditioner, and I was like, well, yep, that's done, because my hair is not happy. It was way too much protein. So to give you guys a little bit of knowledge, if your hair is like really mushy and it's like it doesn't have any bounce back, you know what I'm saying? Like you can't pull a curl and let it like do this. You might have too much moisture. But on the other hand, if you go to pull your hair back or put it in a ponytail, and at the end of the night when you take your ponytail out, your hair's breaking off, you might have too much protein. So just learn how to listen to your hair and realize like where your happy medium is, and understand that it might not be the same as somebody else's. So if somebody's telling you their hair care regimen and they're saying that they use protein every 2 weeks, You might not be that girl. I'm not that girl, and that's okay. Figure out what works best for you and then move on from there. Number 3, so protective styling. Wrong though. You're not doing it correctly. Protective styling it is an amazing tool. It's an amazing asset that we have for our hair. But when used incorrectly, it can end up doing more damage than good. So when it comes to protective styling, there are a couple of things that you need to make sure that you're doing. One, you need to make sure that you are moisturizing your hair. You're not like putting your hair in whatever protective style that you're doing and then just forgetting about it. You still have to take care of your hair while it's in that protective state, or else when you go to take that thing out, she's not gonna be happy with you. So you need to make sure that you're still caring for your hair. That doesn't mean that you have to moisturize it every day. It doesn't mean that, you have to do this, that, and the third. It's different for everyone, but you cannot completely neglect your hair and think that it's going to be happy at, week 3, 4, 6, month 2, however long you leave your protective styles in. That is another thing. The length in which that you leave in your protective styles. Understanding that the longer that your hair is in that protective style, the more opportunity your hair has had to develop buildup and also to tangle. So when it comes to, my ladies that like to leave in their braids in for 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, I would highly not recommend that. But the longer you leave your braids in, the more care that you need to take when you're taking your braids out, because your braids have been in for this long, and yes, you've been washing and touching up your hair and taking care of your hair here and there, but it's still been in your hair for that amount of time. So when you're going to take down your hair, you need to make sure that you literally just clear your whole afternoon, clear your whole day, and just take care of your hair. And especially when it comes to my individual box braids, understand that each and every one of those sections that you had a braid has buildup around it and has tangles in that area. And you have to be very careful and meticulous when it comes to taking those out, or else you're going to rip your hair out. 3, also understanding that everybody can't have booty length braids. And I don't mean to say that because I'm saying no, you can't pull it off. Yes, you can. But understanding that the weight of whatever protective style that you have on your hair is really influential in how much stress that you're putting on your hair. So if you have some really heavy hair and your hair is really fine, understanding that you're going to be really damaging your hair. It's not built for that, which is why sometimes when people put in box braids that aren't intended to have box braids, they lose their hair because it can't handle that kind of weight. It can't handle that kind of stress. So make sure that you're not putting too much stress on your hair. Also, when it comes to just wigs or things that use adhesive, make sure that you're taking extra careful care when it comes to that removal as well. I didn't say that before, but there's nothing wrong with a wig. There's nothing wrong with, a sew-in here or there. But make sure that you're taking the proper steps. You're not putting heat on your hair every day to straighten out whatever leave out you got. You got to be smart about these things. 4, you are neglecting your scalp. So we talked about there's nothing really that you can do to change the rate in which your hair grows. But I will say, if your scalp is not happy, best believe, baby, the condition of your hair will not be good. So understanding that if you have a dry scalp, what things that you need to do in order to make sure that your scalp can stay moisturized. Me particularly, I do have dry scalp. So when it comes to my wash days or halfway in between my wash days, I understand that I gotta, 1, first of all, make sure there's no buildup up in here. And 2, make sure that I'm oiling my scalp and I'm making sure I'm putting another protective barrier, another protective layer on my scalp so it doesn't get dried out and it's not looking like the Sahara Desert once it's time for the next wash day. 5, you have too much stress. And yes, actual mental stress can cause your hair to fall out, but that's not what I'm talking about. You're putting too much stress on your hair. So you're doing too much of the same thing and not giving your hair a break. So I am an avid throw it up in a puff. I will throw my hair in a puff real quick. But you have to understand, at the end of the day, that puff can't stay up there. You know what I'm saying? You have to give your hair a chance to like, like, you know, you come home after a long day of work and you take off your shoes and you take off your this or you take off your that or whatever you had to wear outside your house that was uncomfortable, to give yourself a chance to, you know, breathe and relax. You need to do the same thing for your hair. So if I do wear a puff out during the day, when I come home or when I'm calling it quits for the night, I'm taking my puff out. I'm, you know, massaging my scalp, getting my hair broken up, like letting it breathe, and then, you know, putting on my bonnet, all that other stuff. But if you're consistently parting your hair in the same spot, or you're consistently having a puff in the same location on your hair, or your puff is way too tight, you're going to cause breakage, because, you know, you're constantly pulling your hair back into that one position. You're constantly, you know, having friction in that one spot, and your hair is going to get tired. It's going to break off. So make sure that you are taking the necessary steps. Jesus, I didn't mess up my whole fro. But make sure that you're taking the necessary steps to make sure your hair isn't in distress. You know, we all need to relax, and our hair does too. So make sure that you're taking those steps. So I hope these 5 reasons has been somewhat helpful in understanding things that you may be doing or may not be doing that is causing damage to your hair and is preventing you from reaching your length goals. If you're saying, Adrienne, I do everything that you just listed off and I'm still having issues or my hair's still not growing, girl is looking real quiet. I'm kidding. Drop a comment or email me. Let's brainstorm. Let's figure out what we got going on. It's something that we need to do or something that we might need to change in our regimen. I'm here for y'all. Understand, I am not a professional, but I am here for y'all, and I want to see y'all, you know, glow, blossom to be your biggest potential. So yes, if there's any other way I can help, let me know. And also understand that this applies to my sirs as well. So like, you know, my curly headed sirs, my sirs with, you know, they growing their hair out, or they got this going on, or they got this, the other thing going on. This applies to you too. So make sure that you do take heed. Now, I apologize because I was addressing my ladies mostly, but understand I got love for y'all too, but I'm talking to my girls. So I hope this video is helpful. Give me a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe. If you want to see more content like this, let me know in the comments. Also, drop other things that y'all want to see. You know, talk to me. I want to talk to y'all. So yes, do that. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope that you got a great rest of your day. Keep flourishing. Keep being awesome, y'all. Peace.